Still ahead, Emmy-winning Transparent star Jeffrey Tambor talks about going back into Arrested Development.
Welcome back to the show. Okay, so the gender pay gap in Hollywood is back in the headlines, but actress Rose Byrne doesn't even want to talk about it. She says to ask the people in power about it. Now, Mark, you're a powerful person.
He's a billionaire.
Yes,
With a B.
You didn't know, but I've been nominated for movies I produced or executive produced, been nominated for 7 Academy Awards.
Really?
Have not, yeah.
Never won?
No, I haven't won
Still a
yet.
bridesmaid. Nomination is a win.
So it's not enough to just be a billionaire. You even have to be that.
Right?
He gets bored. He has to keep doing stuff.
And he's running for president, everybody. Did we tell you that?
And I'll be serving sandwiches later.
So give us, the audience, during the commercial breaks, a lot of time people ask, how do you get to be, a journalist? How do you get to be a lawyer? How do you get to be a comedian? What do you tell women about the pay gap?
This pay gap.
You got to be aggressive, right? I mean, anybody who works for me, I kind of divide into 2 categories. Are you creating stress or are you reducing my stress? And if you're creating stress, then that's a separate problem. But if you're creating quality work for somebody, you have to be willing to walk in and say, I'm confident in my job. If you want to keep me, you're going to have to pay me more. And not gender equality, pay me what I'm worth. And if that's more than the man sitting next to me, so be it. But part of that, there's a part 2 to it, right? You've got to be willing to have them call your bluff, right? If you have to move, you might have to move to take a different job. And that's been a lot of the challenge, particularly now. Back in the day, people would relocate for new jobs because they'd get more money. Now people don't want to relocate as much. And that's part of the challenge. So whether, no matter who you are, when you walk in the door, you have to be willing to walk in, give a good case why you should pay me more. And if they don't, you've got to go to the next job.
You've got to be willing to walk away.
You've got to be able to go to the next job.
Let's say I'm making $100,000 a year, and I come to you. That's what I was paid. And I say to you, I want $200,000. Is that a legitimate request? Or
I'm going to say, I'll help you find your next job.
Okay, so let's say I'm making 50. Let's say I'm more than
So let's just say you're making 50.
Let's say I'm making 30,000. Okay, what should I ask for?
It just depends on the circumstances, right? What you shouldn't do is think, well, this company's making so much money. If I ask to go to 30 to 40, right? You have to do your homework and say, okay, what are people around me making? Don't be afraid to talk to the people around you.
How do you find that out?
Because you have to ask. You have to ask, right? But when you talk in a lunchroom, when you talk at the water cooler, ask, because everybody's in the exact same boat. Now, not everybody's going to tell you, but
you don't know what to ask for a lot of times. And I feel like some of these companies, I know I've been in that situation where I was stepping into the same shoes that my successor was a male, and they offered me 30 to 40% less.
Yes, yeah.
Well, and I walked away.
And that's what you have to do.
Well, then you should have.
I know, but it's offensive at the same time.
Sometimes you don't know how much. Wait, can I ask one question? Mark was saying, talk to people around you. I'm always fearful when you speak up in those situations. So let's say Sonny's asking me, what do you make? I'm fearful that Sonny walks into a meeting and said, well, Sarah says she makes isn't there retribution for like sharing?
There certainly can be, but is it worse than not getting the raise? And plus, let me just add this. If you've been at the company for a few years, and most likely that's the foundation for you asking for a raise, right? You know what your raises have been. So if you've been getting 2%, 3%, 5%, then it's okay to ask for 7%, 8%. If you're going to ask for 25 or 30, that's a mistake. Now, if you're in a talent-based position...
What if you feel like you're worth double?
Well, then you have to convince your boss.
You're going to need that conversation with your ego and then bring it down a notch.
There's been situations where someone's walked in and I knew they were valuable to me and they went from 100 to 200 to 250 because I can't live without them. The challenge is being honest with yourself. Can they live without you? Yes or no?
I used to have a manager who would ask for a lot on a Friday. And then I said, they're not going to give that to me. And he'd go, well, we can always roll over on Monday.
That's true.
So you say, I'm leaving if you don't give it to me. And then on Monday you say, yeah, she was kidding.
Look,
you think that's a good strategy?
And do you find that men also ask more often for more money than women do?
Not anymore. Oh. Right? No, I deal in the tech world, right? And it's a big issue with women and gender equality. And without question, more and more women are being aggressive and having, and not even aggressive, that's the wrong word, having the confidence to walk in. And I'll tell you what's even better. Of my Shark Tank companies, I'd say I've close 70, probably 30, give or take 1 or 2, are run by women. And so where I'm seeing a real explosion is in women entrepreneurs. That is just exploding. And the best way to protect your own economic future is to create it yourself and go start something.
One last question. When you said don't be unreasonable, like don't come in with 100 and ask for 200, can you come in with your best research and say, I want this much more and say, but tell me what you can do if you can't do that. Is there a way to cushion it in case you're kind of
what you can say
undermining
is, look,
yourself by asking for too much?
No, what you can say is, look, I've been getting a 3% raise every year. I think I've contributed quite a bit, and this year I'd like to ask for a 5% raise.
That's reasonable.
Knowing that if you continue to do a good job next year, right? Because it's not always about what you get right now.
It's the jump the next
Right,
time.
where are you going? Because is this a career or is this a stepping stone? And if it's a stepping stone, ask for everything knowing you can go somewhere else. If it's a career, plan for the future instead of trying to get it all right
really
now.
quickly, I wonder if you could just tell us why you said during the break that Trump is right to hire his children.
No, I'm not saying he was right. No, what I said with Donald Trump, when I see somebody in a business and almost everybody who's in senior management is a family member, that's a real sign that they don't know how to hire, they don't know how to manage, and they don't know how to lead.
A lot of dictatorships have that too.
Well, because that's the trust factor, right?
Yes.
You don't hire based off of quality. And I'm not saying anything. Ivanka's brilliant, right? The boys are okay, but he's not. There's your gender equality, right? But he doesn't have people that have been with him a long time that are now in the White House that aren't related to him or in his Trump companies. That's a bad sign.
He's very insular too.
And he's very insecure about it, and that's why you need family members.
All right,
to
before
protect
we
you.
go, I want to just tell people to pick up the June edition of Essence magazine to check out Sunny's final thoughts. What does that mean, final thoughts?
I'm on the last page of the magazine, and apparently being on the last page is sort
They
of a
say
big
the
deal.
best for last.
But what a title, final
Can I get
thoughts.
your autograph?
It's like you're going to
Please.
die in 6
No, but
months.
it's the column
These are
is
my final
the
thoughts.
column is about this experience here at the table and
really?
how it's actually very difficult to be vulnerable and talk about your personal life, your faith, your family on national television. So,
You do
but
it.
that
You
you
do
need
it
a
very
voice
well.
and that people can use their voice
Yes, they
all
can.
around our country and that they need to.
Okay, good. That's
great.
So pick up a copy. We'll be right back.
Later, Cougar season. Why older women should be on the prowl for younger men.
We're back. So women are turning on each other right now. You know which women?
What?
3 years after Taylor Swift allegedly dissed Katy Perry with her song Bad Blood, Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj seem to be clapping back with their new song Swish
Clapping
Swish.
back.
What is
No
it
way.
called?
Swish, swish.
Clapping or
Not
crapping?
swish, clap.
Clapping back.
Yeah, crappy.
I never.
clap back.
Yes, I learn new words here all the time. And then I'm teaching Donald Trump. So watch, listen, take a listen.
Keep calm, honey, I'ma stick around for more than a minute. Get used to it. Funny, my name keeps coming at your mouth, 'cause I stay winning. Name up like swish, swish, bish.
So maybe Katy should shake it off, huh? You didn't know I knew that, did you?
I didn't.
Where's the Bad Blood reference, Joy?
So is Katy trying to get the last word in? And what do you think about that? Like, if you have a fight with somebody, should you be the one to have do you have to have the last word, or do you let it go?
You have to have the last word.
Oh, you have
You
to.
know what, Shark Tank? Always the last word.
Right? Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, you need the last
Well, that's a different thing.
That's one thing I think I hate about myself is that I feel like even growing up with my brother, you know, when we were fighting, I had to get like the last nudge in. I still have to get. Sorry, are you okay? You're so fragile. I still have to get the last word in with my husband and just in general, and it bothers me. And now I see that it's amplified. I see it in my children, and I realize how annoying it is. And
Because
I
the
don't wanna be
last
like that.
word always provokes yet another word.
Exactly.
It doesn't end
It's a
there.
cycle. It's a vicious
I'm gonna be
cycle.
clever, because the other thing is that whole quantity versus quality is lost on me. Like, I'll be in a fight and someone will say something, I'm like, whatever. And then you say it like 3 more times, you're like, I've got nothing but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And like, you're losing. It's so
but
bad.
there's with your siblings and your family,
Yeah.
where you always do it. And then there's real world, right? Like,
Yes.
for most of the real world, I think I'm polite, nice, and whatever.
Yeah.
But you give me with my brothers.
How many-
you give me with
wait, how
my
many
kids-
siblings do you have?
I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh,
So you
younger.
3 boys. There are
Younger,
3
yeah,
boys in the
and
family.
what's that?
3 boys.
Are they billionaires too?
No, but you know,
They did
it's
other
a
things
family.
really
it's,
well
a, it's a
too.
family, so
They're in
we're
the
all
will, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Are they in
Except
the
for my
will?
brother who didn't give me
I
the
don't
last
think so.
word. He's out.
What do they do, your brothers?
They both work for me now. One's an
They work
attorney,
for you?
and one does entertainment stuff for me.
Brother, can you spare a dime?
Brother,
huh?
can you spend like a lot of time?
So, Go ahead. I just think when you have an argument, there's always two perceptions anyway, so it can go on and on and on. Because Katie thinks she's right, the other one thinks she's right.
Well, singers, they can always write a follow-up song that has...
business,
It's a marketing tool.
I think it's a marketing tool. That's what I was going to say.
We're talking about it, so
They're secretly probably really close, and like we just keep playing this out.
I don't think that.
Well, I don't think that either.
I don't think that. But men do it too, right, in the business. Drake did Back to Back, which was about Meek Mill. Right. You had John Mayer talk about sexual napalm and Your Body's a Wonderland with Jessica Simpson.
Sexual napalm?
Yeah.
Jessica
Which was
Simpson
kind of
was The Body is a Wonderland?
Yes, it's terrible.
Jessica Simpson was Your Body is a Wonderland.
Wow. You know,
I always loved her.
I don't want to bring the table down, but that's a sick
I mean, it's like
that is a sick title.
I think people all
the napalm reference.
That's a famous quote in a movie. I like the smell of napalm in the morning.
That was a comedy.
That wasn't a comedy.
Good Morning Vietnam. Yes, it was.
I thought it was Apocalypse Now. It's Apocalypse Now.
Right back. I'll tell her about that.
You're getting the last word in here.
Guys, let me ask you something. Welcome back to the show. What do you think about? Do you think it counts in the social media era? Do you think cheating counts in that way? Like if you are, you do.
If you're poking someone on Facebook, yes.
Well, if you're poking them in real life, yes, also. But if you're poking them or you're contacting them, but you have a relationship,
like if you're
is
looking
that
up
cheating?
ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends, do you look up your
Yes, I
ex?
look them up.
You follow them?
Hell yes, I look up old girlfriends.
No.
Oh, yeah, I want to know. Are you kidding me?
All right.
What do you want to know, though?
I just want to see how they're doing. Look, first of all, the girlfriends I had through college and then right before I got married, I'm still friends with.
Are they married to billionaires?
No, but they never thought I'd be a billionaire, so...
But why are you still friends with them?
Because we were friends then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
How can you be friends with someone you've seen naked?
Oh, that's easy.
You're assuming that they did the
Sonny, men walk down the street and assume everyone's naked. So, like, that really narrows the pool.
But you
So, you know, I had a boyfriend years and years ago when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And all these years, I've been wondering, where is he? You know, what happened to the guy?
Did you find him on Facebook?
So I looked him up, you know, and over the years, I've checked him out. But now that this is easier to do, and we have a research department here.
That's cheating.
I know. So wait, so I had to go.
That's a little
so
bit
I had a research team. My man Sam, he's the brilliant researcher. Really? So he found him. Wait a second.
What's his name?
I'm not telling his name.
Give us the code name.
No, it doesn't matter what his name was because the story is that he's dead.
Oh!
He's dead.
Oh.
He's dead.
But why?
And he died young too. I was so upset.
No.
So this is the real mistake I made. I told my husband about it. Like as if he's my therapist or something.
That's really sad.
And so I said to him, imagine that. I looked him up and blah, blah, blah. He said, so you can't nurse that fantasy anymore.
But I think there's a difference. Yeah.
So,
and Steve didn't like it, did he? He
didn't really like it. But hello, Steve, you're alive. The guy's dead.
But he's not a friend.
You win. You win.
But why keep in touch and why the desire to look?
I wasn't going to keep in touch.
You said look up. That's different.
Why the desire to look up?
Facebook, you get to see all their pictures, their kids, you know, who you still keep in touch with.
Sometimes you miss their family. I want to see like
and
what
plus you have mutual friends, right? We were friends with so-and-so. Are you still in touch with them? Still hanging out?
You just want to know what happened.
Though, but here's the problem: is when you're checking to make sure that you've chosen wisely. If you know what I mean. Is that why you're checking?
What's the intent?
It's not one or the other.
Your wife
can have that and be loyal and also digistalk over here. It's just like a visual medium. It's like checking it out.
It's very malignant.
You don't have to
for
like
you.
their photos. I mean,
do we have another subject? I'm looking for a subject here. So when I was in college, I made a presentation about why older women should go for younger men. And it turns out I was right. I actually did a speech about this.
Really?
Because, and one of the main reasons is that because women die older than men, if the man is younger, let's say 5-6 years, they will die at the same time. So you're not really left alone.
noble.
Isn't that a good idea?
It's a great idea.
But how many, but who's,
the three of us are older.
Yeah.
Is your wife younger or older?
Yes, barely.
Yeah, she's younger.
Oh, you went younger.
Yeah, I went younger.
Well, he's a man.
Yeah.
They always go younger.
They always go younger.
Always.
You know
why do men always go younger?
Because we can.
It's true.
You know,
It's true.
yeah.
Men go younger. I think men.
younger.
Men can have children through, till eternity. And I think a lot of times men choose someone younger because they get married
It's not
later.
working.
But when
That
I
old
was in my
sperm is
20s,
not working that well
when I was in my
these days.
20s, I loved older
No.
women because I loved being trained.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
That is true.
You like being trained, but then
You're
when you
talking
want
sexually, Mark?
Oh my gosh.
Among other things, yeah.
Sexually, he's talking.
Absolutely. When you're 20 years old,
Yeah.
You do have to shape the younger men and mold them into the men that you want them to be.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for
and I
that.
told him to shape early, shape often.
We've learned. I have to say, we've learned a lot about this billionaire today.
Yeah, right?
He hires his relatives. He had an older woman teach him how to do it. And we'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Jeffrey Tambor, and I know I'm supposed to do a tease for you guys, but I have to tell you, I'm so engrossed in this wonderful book I'm reading. I just can't put it down. It's well, it's important.
Hey,
Come on.
come on.
We dare ya. Just try to stop her from speaking her mind.
Who gives about my boobs?
She said it.
So what'll happen when Chelsea Handler and the women of The View hit the Hot Topics?
Uh-oh, whoa.
Monday, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.